Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? DishNet34 here, welcoming you to tonight's episode of This Week in Perfect Team, episode number 175. How are we doing tonight, folks? Oh, man. What a night that we have for you all tonight. It is Platinum Series 3 night. I'm excited. I hope y'all are excited too. Yes, we have broken out the tie. It's one of those special occasions. It is one of those special occasions here in Perfect Team. Platinum Series 3, the third set of 4 Platinum Series cards that we're releasing throughout the cycle. I can't wait to show these off to you tonight. Oh my god! I'm so excited, guys. I'm very excited that I just want to get right into it. I just want to get right into it tonight. Let's do it. And we're going to go ahead and start with the Perfect League standings as of 8:30 p.m. tonight. Oh, man, we got some big races going on here in Perfect League. The Everett Aqua Sox currently in first place in the AC East Division with a 55-46 record. One game above the 90s expansions, last week's Perfect League champion. Not a bad race right there. Very close. 1.5 games above the Gouverneur Destroyers as well. AC Central has the Minneapolis Millers at 59-41, 4 games up on the Gary Railcats in the AC Central. Not a bad lead right there. And then we have the Taito Albas, who made a run last week in the Perfect League playoffs, up by 3 games over the Perugia Warriors in the AC West. And then the AC Koufax has the Durham Los Toros, a whopping 10.5 games above the Watertown Herons. And let me tell you, there's a big old wild card race going on right now in the AC. And oh man, it is a close one, folks. So stay tuned to the Perfect League playoffs. We could see some interesting matchups coming up. In the National Conference, we have Crash TBD in first place in the division right now at 55-46, 1 game up on the Park Slope Bourbon Bros for the division lead. Not bad at all. 3 games up on the Family Madrigal TBD. The NC Central has the Elysian Fields 9 with a 57-43 record in first place. 2 games up on the Oakwood Wolverines. However, they've been losing some games lately. They've lost 5 in a row as of 8:30. Whoo, boy. Oh, boy. So Oakwood trying to make a little bit of a run out of this right now. Maybe take the division lead soon. We'll see. The NC West Division has the Palatine Paludos up by 1.5 games over the Balking Dead with a 60-42 record. And in the NC Roof Division, we have the Besaid Oryx with a 53-46 record, 1.5 games up on the San Diego Swingers in the Roof Division. So some fun races going on, some close races. I mean, the only one that's really not a race at this point is the AC Koufax division, but man, I don't see a number more than 4 in second place in the rest of those divisions. So, oh boy, should be some fun races coming down to the wire. And once again, we will be broadcasting the Perfect League World Series this Sunday night, sometime between 5:30 and 7, sometime in that range. So stay tuned to the Out of the Park Development's Twitch channel for that World Series. All right, and speaking of big tournament events, big events coming up in Perfect Team, don't forget that the Perfect Team Championship Series, the 4th Perfect Team Championship Series, is this Saturday beginning at noon Eastern with finals coverage on the Out of the Park Development's Twitch channel later in the evening. Top 128 teams from the last 4 cumulative weeks in each of our 4 formats, daily and weekly perfect draft, daily and weekly traditional, will participate in the PTCS. There's a look at the formats once again. Daily Traditional will have a bronze floor, silver ceiling, 1776 cap with a modern run environment. Weekly Traditional, Dead Ball to Golden Era Open, and Daily Weekly Perfect Draft will have a triple perfect bronze floor. First place in the PTCS will get PTCS exclusive catcher Bill Dickey, while second through 32nd place will get some very sweet cards from the forthcoming third tournament card set. Alrighty, let's get to some cards this evening, and we have a couple of 25 copy limited editions on the way for you all tonight. And we're starting off with a hot one tonight. We're starting off with a hot one tonight, folks. And it is 99 overall starting pitcher Tim Hudson from the 2002 Oakland A's. 81 stuff, 103 movement, and 93 control. Some big numbers right there. Fastball, slider, curveball, forkball, sinker combo on Tim Hudson. Look at the splits against righties right here. 85 stuff, 108 movement, 95 control with extreme ground ball to fly ball tendency, 93 to 95 miles per hour. This is a really good pitcher right here that anybody would love to have. 2002 season for Tim Hudson, a very good season. 15-9 with a 2.98 ERA, 1.45 ERA plus, 5.7 Ks per 9, 2.3 walks per 9. Second on the A's in wins above replacement. First on the team in fielding independent pitching at 360, a 1.255 whip, and a 51.1% ground ball percentage, which, if I am not mistaken, was the lowest ground ball percentage of his career. So this guy can induce a whole heck of a lot of ground balls for your team. Oh, man. So Tim Hudson from the 2002 Oakland A's is in Perfect Team 23. So that's a fun card to start, but how about another fun card, huh? How about another one? Let's go back to the 50s, and we have 100 overall Ernie Banks from the 1959 Chicago Cubs. Oh man, some big power on this guy right here. Some big power, some big contact. 80 BABIP, 109 power, 86 avoid K, 110 contact, 86 gap power, and 56 I. Some very good splits against lefties with 110 power, 112 contact, 81 gap power, 66 I, 92 avoid K. Whoo, Nelly. He can play first base. He can also play a little bit of shortstop as well with 91 range, 97 error, 83 arm, and 85 on the turn double play. Now, because this is a 100 overall limited edition card, this will pull at historical diamond rates. So just so y'all are aware about that. 1959 for Ernie Banks, a solid season. His second straight NL MVP year with a 304, 374, 596. 596 slash line, 45 homers, 143 RBI, and 156 OPS plus. Led MLB in RBIs and intentional walks, and was a participant in both All-Star games in 1959. So, and as someone has pointed out in the chat, this is Perfect Team Championship Series eligible. So if you're looking for that perfect shortstop for a Perfect Team Championship Series build, there you go. Here's a card for y'all to go out and find. 48 speed, 68 stealing, and 58 base running as well. Is this the Banksy who does street art? Oh man, you know what? We got to give a shout out to Daniel on this card art, because he does a fantastic job every year, straight up. Alrighty, there you go. Ernie Banks from the 1959 Chicago Cubs is in Perfect Team 23. Alright, let's get to what y'all have been waiting for. Platinum Series 3. And I forgot to change the subtitle on that, but who gives a darn? Let's talk about Platinum Series 3. Platinum Series 3, if y'all are not familiar with the Platinum Series collection, well, collection card sets, I guess. This is the third of 4 series of packable cards that will only be in packs for a fixed amount of time. Once again, different from limited edition cards, which are limited by number of cards. This set of Platinum Series cards, like the others, will be in packs for roughly 2 months, with the exact end date to be announced at a later time. There will be 160 cards in Platinum Series 3. Gosh darn it, I need to proofread my doggone slides. 160 cards, so 20 more than we've had in Platinum Series 1, Platinum Series 2. So there were 140 of those in those sets. We got 160 here. Here's the distribution here. We have 18 iron cards, 19 bronze cards, 31 silver cards, 39 gold cards, 39 diamond cards, and 14 perfect cards. So some fun cards coming down your way tonight. And we're going to start out with one of the iron cards that you will be seeing in packs beginning at the end of this stream tonight. And you know what? Given my personal taste in baseball teams, what better way to start off than with a Detroit Tiger? And the Iron Detroit Tiger this time around is going to be 2011 Phil Koch, lefty starter from the Tigers, 56 overall, 53 stuff, 91 movement, and 62 control. Fastball, curveball, changeup combo right there. 56 stuff against lefties, 97 movement against lefties, and 63 control against lefties as well. 27 stamina and 99 on the hold runners as well. Now, you might be wondering, hey, Dish, Phil Koch, how is he a starting pitcher with 27 stamina? Well, let me tell you a little story here. So in 2011, the Tigers gave some starts to a lot of random folks. Phil Koch being one of them. They gave this guy 14 starts. He wasn't as good as he would have liked to be in the rotation. I mean, the 2011 Tigers, I mean, they gave 31 starts to Brad Penny of all people. Just saying. And then they finally found stability with Doug Fister at the end of the year, and then they cruised their way to the playoffs. But Phil Koch, actually, when he went back to the bullpen, was actually a better pitcher than he was as a starter. 3-9 on the year, 48 games, 14 games started. 4.47 ERA, 5.7 Ks per nine, 3.3 walks per nine. His strikeout rate shot up as soon as he went back to the bullpen. 4.82 ERA as a starting pitcher, 3.71 ERA as a reliever. Only gave up 5 home runs in 108.2 innings pitched. Yeah, and then the Tigers got that rotation of Cy Young winners. They must have won the World Series with them, right? Either way, hey, look at that hold runner on Phil Koch there, 99. Not bad, not bad. So there you go. Phil Koch from the 2011 Detroit Tigers is in Perfect Team 23. Alrighty, next up, let's go to, let's show off a couple of bronze cards. Show a couple of bronze cards here. And our first bronze card of the evening, hey, guess what? It's another Detroit Tiger, and it is Rob Deere from the 1992 Tigers, 63 overall. There is nothing you need to know about this card other than he's got 113 power. That's it. That's it. 113 power, 133 power against lefties, 106 power against righties. Woo! And look at some of the stats against lefties here, too. 65 contact, 66 gap power, 78 eye. Homer or nothing. I mean, that's about it. This guy, massive power right here. And then again, Rob Deere was known for a lot of power, not a lot of average. He could walk a little bit too. 247, 337, 547 on the slash line in his 1992 season. 32 homers, 64 RBI, 145 OPS plus. 32 homers, tied for the second highest in his career, tied for second on the 92 Tigers in home runs. And surprisingly, 1992, the third lowest strikeout rate of his career. Who'd have thunk it? Also, kind of halfway's decent in right field, I would say. I mean, 67 range, 56 error, 56 arm. Is qualified to learn left field as well. Might be a better spot to put him. 26 speed, 76 stealing, and 62 base running as well. So Rob Deere from the 1992 Detroit Tigers is in. Perfect team 23. I see we're going with Salvador Dali set this time. I mean, that's one way you could look at it potentially. Lot of melty action there. I kind of like the outline around the middle of the card there. You know, kind of has like a little clip of the position and then a little clip of the last name there in the corners there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Is the next card a Detroit Tiger? No, unfortunately not. But we do have one other bronze card we want to show off to you tonight, and that is 68 overall BJ Surhoff from the Milwaukee Brewers, 1995 edition. 67 BABIP, 53 power, 86 avoid K, 76 contact, 73 gap power, and 45 on the eye. Look at the splits against lefties here. 97 avoid K, 79 contact, 83 gap power. Now you got a little bit less eye against lefties right here, but a lot more eye against righties. That's and then a little bit more power against righties as well. He can play catcher, first base, left field, right field, and somehow, some way is qualified to learn third base. 60 catcher ability, 60 arm, 46 infield range, 39 infield error, 42 infield arm, 37 on the turn double play, 56 outfield range, 56 error, and 70 on the outfield arm. A very versatile guy. Maybe for some bronze tournament teams. Not a bad option. So pretty much he could play infield, but why? 1995 season for BJ Surhoff was actually a very good season. Probably one of this was the year that BJ Surhoff really came into his own as a hitter, kind of in those late 90s right there. 320, 378, 492 with 13 homers, 73 RBI, and a 120 OPS plus in 117 games in that season. First year with double-digit home runs in his last season with Milwaukee. Fourth highest WAR season in his career of 2.9. So a very solid hitter for the bronze level. Should be a fun one for a lot of teams. BJ Surhoff from the 1995 Milwaukee Brewers in. Perfect team 23. All right, let's show off a couple of silver cards for y'all today. And let me tell you, we got some fun silver cards here. We got a couple of fun silver cards we want to show off to you tonight. Jeff Jenkins is feeling left out. Maybe a little bit. But let's show off a couple of silver cards for y'all tonight. And we're going to start our silver look with 76 overall Matt Carpenter, second baseman from the 2013 St. Louis Cardinals. 85 BABIP, 33 power, 83 avoid K, 87 contact, 109 gap power, and 63 on the eye. Look at the gap power here. This is the big calling card on this card. 112 gap power against lefties, 108 gap power against righties. Some good eye against righties as well. Lot of teal, a little bit of blue, a little bit of green here and there. Can play second, can play third, and is qualified to learn at first base. 61 range, 72 infield error, 71 arm, and 84 on the turn double play. Matt Carpenter, a very great season in 2013. Probably one of the best seasons of his career. Prior to him being with the Yankees this year and kind of reinventing himself. 318, 392, 481 on his slash line in 2013 with 11 homers, 78 RBI, and a 140 OPS plus. But the homer numbers, that's not what you want to look at here. He led MLB that year with 199 hits, 126 runs scored, and a whopping 55 doubles. 55 doubles. Just an insane year for Matt Carpenter. Finished fourth in the NL MVP voting that year. He was an all-star. He was also a silver slugger. Yeah, just couldn't quite get to 200 hits. But you know what? This is a fun card for those who have like maybe some high gap parks. Maybe in like the lower levels. Maybe like could be a decent, maybe like a high silver floor team or something like that. Maybe like a silver team potentially could use his services. You know, this is not a bad hitting card right here. But yeah, 76 overall. Matt Carpenter from the 2013 St. Louis Cardinals is in Perfect Team 23. Alrighty. Next up on our look at silver. Let's take a look at 79 overall first baseman Pete Runnels. Peak card from the Boston Red Sox. A bit of a splitty card right here. 80 BABIP, 33 power, 85 avoid K, 83 contact, 89 gap power, 76 I. But look at the splits against righties here. 81 BABIP, 35 power, 90 avoid K, 86 contact, 94 gap power, 76 I. Whew. Some very good contact, some very good avoid K on this guy right here. Decent gap power as well. Can play first, can play second. Can technically play shortstop. Sure. 70 range, 79 error, 39 infield arm, and 62 on the turn double play. 22 speed, 70 stealing, and 46 base running as well. Pete Runnels, not exactly a power hitter in his career. 291, 375, 378 slash line between 1951 and 1964. 49 homers and 630 RBI. He was a 5-time All-Star with the Red Sox. Was the AL batting champ in 1960 and 1962, hitting 320 and 326. And this guy could get on base in his career. 844 career walks to 627 career strikeouts. So, a very interesting guy. He can get on base. He can get some batting average going. Not a bad option for some silver teams, potentially. So there you go. First baseman Pete Runnels, peak card from the Boston Red Sox in Perfect Team 23. Alrighty, let's show off a few gold cards now, shall we? Let's go to the gold ranks here. So, who we got first? Ooh. I think y'all like power, because I mean we've had a couple of low power guys. How about another big power guy here? And let's go to the Great North with the Toronto Blue Jays, 81 overall, peak George Bell for the Toronto Blue Jays. 50 BABIP, 94 power, 86 avoid K, 80 contact, 85 gap power, and 36 I. Look at the power against lefties. Woo! 110 power against lefties. 89 avoid K against lefties. 88 contact against lefties. 82 gap power against lefties. This guy, not bad at all. Can play both left field and right field actually fairly decently. 93 position rating in left field, 86 in right field, has 73 range, 65 error, and 88 on the outfield arm. Oh man, George Bell had a pretty solid career, all things considered, between 1981 and 1993. 278, 316, 469 on the slash line. Didn't walk too much in his career, so you're not going to get a whole lot of I with a George Bell card. 265 career homers, 1,002 RBI. He was a 3-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger, and technically, the baseball writers voted him to be the 1987 MVP, even though Alan Trammell was a more valuable player that year. Just saying. Led the AL in RBI with 134 of them in 1987, and led MLB in total bases in that year with 369. Exactly, Michigator. Trammell was robbed in 1987. Straight up. Anyway, George Bell, 34 speed, 74 stealing, and 54 base running as well. So a solid power hitting card in the low gold ranks. Maybe a platoon bat, maybe against lefties potentially. All things considered on a gold team potentially. So yeah, that was the year Trammell hit 343. Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah. So there you go. 81 overall, George Bell from the Toronto Blue Jays in Perfect Team 23. All right, you know what? We haven't had a pitcher in a while. How about we show off a gold pitcher? Shall we? And let's show off 88 overall right-hander Carlos Zambrano from the Chicago Cubs. 95 stuff, 101 movement, and 52 control. Little bit splitty toward right-handed batters. 99 stuff, 105 movement, and 53 control. Fastball, slider, curveball, sinker, splitter, and cutter right here. Throws it hard, don't know where it's going. That was pretty much Carlos Zambrano in a nutshell. Whoo, woo, whoo. Big Z in Perfect Team 23. 88 stamina, but the hold runners, at 16, not good for some people there. And you know what? The guy can hit a little bit too. 42 contact, 54 power, 9 eye, and 29 on the sack bunt. This guy, big stuff, big movement, not a lot of control. That was pretty much his MO throughout his career from 2001 to 2012. I forget that Carlos Zambrano pitched for the 2012 Marlins. And that is also true, Dark Horse. He pitched a no-hitter as the home team at Miller Park. I believe that was due to one of the hurricanes that happened in 2008, that they had to move that to Miller Park as well. Yeah, 100% Gatorade dispensers. Yep, that's true. That's true. That is true. 132 and 91 career record, 3.66 ERA, 7.5 Ks per 9, 4.1 walks per 9, 3-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger as a pitcher in the National League. Guy could hit. Guy could definitely hit. Top 5 in Cy Young 3 times in his career, never won it. Led the NL in wins with 16 in 2006. While also leading the league in walks with 115 in 2006. So that a bit of an up and down season that year for Carlos Zambrano, but you know what? He did the best he could. Pretty cool. So there you go. Carlos Zambrano, 88 overall from the Chicago Cubs in Perfect Team 23. Alrighty, let's go back to the outfield for our next card. And if you're looking for some speed, and if you're looking for some defense, maybe a little bit of defense here, look no further than our next card. 89 overall, Brett Butler from the LA Dodgers. 76 BABIP, 36 power, 91 avoid K, 83 contact, 81 gap power, 80 on the eye. But look at the defense, look at the speed. 87 range, 102 error, and 93 arm in the outfield. Can play left field, can train up actually a little bit more in the left field than what we have for him right now. Starts out at 106 out of 117. 90 on the center field rating as well. Unfortunately, cannot learn right field. Yikes. But look at the speed here. 97 speed, 93 stealing, 95 base running, and oh my God, look at that bunt. 103 sack bunt, 100 on the bunt for hit. Ooh. Ooh. So this guy can steal, he can bunt, he can get on base, he can play some defense. Not bad, not bad. In his career from 1981 to 1997, Brett Butler, 290, 377, 376 on the slash line with 578 RBIs and 558 career stolen bases. Made the 1991 All-Star Game, finished 7th in MVP that year as well, and also had 11 straight years of 30-plus stolen bases. That's something else. Another thing that happened in his career, he was diagnosed with cancer in May 1996, received treatment that year, and returned to the playing field just 4 months later. So not only can he play defense and is a speedy guy, but he's also an inspiration. That is pretty cool stuff right there. So there you go. Brett Butler, 89 overall peak card, center fielder from the LA Dodgers in Perfect Team 23. All right, we got some fun cards for you to show off in the diamond ranks as well. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 diamond cards to show off for you tonight. Let's go ahead and get started with our first diamond card of the evening. And ooh boy, another power guy coming up right here. And it is 92 overall, Duke Snider from the 1954 Brooklyn Dodgers. Center field card right here. 91 BABIP, 99 power, 46 avoid K, 98 contact, 95 gap power, and 66 on the eye. Look at the splits here against righties. 92 BABIP, 104 power, 48 avoid K, 102 contact, 98 gap power, and 69 on the eye. This guy defensively, maybe not the best option in center field. Is qualified to learn right field. Does have 70 range, 61 error, 49 eye. Might be more of a DH kind of guy here. But 1954, a fantastic year for Duke Snider. 341, 423, 647 on the slash line with 40 homers, 130 RBI, and a 171 OPS plus. This guy can hit dingers. He was an all-star in 1954, 4th in MVP that year with career highs in OPS plus and batting average. So probably his best hitting year, all things considered. This was also his second of 5 straight seasons of 40 plus home runs as well. So if you're looking for a guy that'll hit you dingers, maybe in the lower levels a little bit, this is your guy right here. 46 speed, 68 stealing, and 45 base running as well. Could probably get away with the defense a little bit in the lower levels as well in center field potentially. I mean, you're talking to a guy that plays a Platinum Series Hack Wilson in center field on his Platinum Series theme team. So just saying. But there you go. Duke Snider from the 1954 Brooklyn Dodgers in perfect team 23. Alrighty, next up. Hey, I heard you guys like catchers. I heard there's some of you out there who might be looking for this particular catcher, and that is 94 overall, Tony Pena from the Pittsburgh Pirates. 94 overall catcher, 64 BABIP, 64 power, 95 avoid K, 82 contact, 82 gap power, and 55 I. Very good against lefties with 69 BABIP, 71 power, 104 avoid K, 92 contact, 79 gap power, 57 I. Yep, he did play for the Cardinals at one point. That is correct, War Duke. That is correct. But look at the defense here. 98 catcher ability and 91 catcher arm. Whew. Solid. Absolutely solid defense right there. Plus, he can kind of run a little bit, and he can bunt very well. 52 speed, 72 stealing, 61 base running, as well as 107 sack bunt, and 94 on the bunt for hit. Very good low diamond catcher option right here for a lot of people. His career from 1980 to 1997 hit 260, 309, 364 with 107 career homers and 708 RBI. 5-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glover. Fun fact, worth 9.7 defensive wins above replacement according to Fangraphs between 1982 and 1986. Definitely his peak years, if you ask me. Also threw out 35% of career base runners. Did I cherry pick that D-War stat? Yes. Yes, I did. Do I regret it? No, I don't. But there you go. Solid defender, pretty solid hitter as well. Tony Pena from the Pittsburgh Pirates in perfect team 23. All right, next up, hey, we need some more pitchers up in here, right? I think we need some more pitchers. So how's about one that could potentially go in your bullpen? Maybe a lefty, maybe? How about this for size? 95 overall, peak Hrabowsky from the St. Louis Cardinals. 96 stuff, 107 movement, 82 control with a fastball and a forkball. A tiny bit of advantage against left-handed batters with 98 stuff, 110 movement, and 83 control. Is also very serviceable against righties. 95 stuff, 106 movement, 82 control. A solid left-handed relief pitcher right here. 16 stamina, 76 hold runners as well, with an extreme fly ball and a 95 to 97 mile an hour velocity. Ooh. Al Hrabowsky, the Mad Hungarian, in his career, 545 games, a 3.10 ERA, 97 career saves, and 6.8 strikeouts per 9. Back-to-back top 5 Cy Young finishes in 1974 and 1975. Had some very fantastic seasons. Very fantastic seasons with the St. Louis Cardinals. Let me find his page here. Yeah, in 1974, had 2.95 ERA and an 8-1 record. And then in 1975, probably his best season, 65 games, a 1.66 ERA with a 13-3 record coming out of the bullpen. And 22 saves as well. This guy was an absolute force on the mound in the 70s, and he is now in Perfect Team 23. Alrighty, so there you go, Hrabowsky from the Cardinals. Next up, let's go way back. Let's go way back to the early 1900s, back to the beginnings of the American League. Oh man, how's about this card coming up right here? We have 96 overall Napoleon Lodgeway, second baseman from 1902 Cleveland. 92 BABIP, 60 power, 98 avoid K, 106 contact, 106 gap power, and 43 on the eye. Whoo! And he's pretty solid against both lefties and righties. Maybe a little bit more contact against lefties, tiny bit more gap power against lefties, but overall, he can play against both sides right here. 67 range, 76 error, 38 arm, and 73 on the turn double play. So maybe not the best defender at second base. Definitely not the best defender at second base. But he is also qualified to play first base as well. Didn't he have a 400 season? He did have a 400 season. He did have a 400 season, Nap Lodgeway did. That was in 1901, the first year of the American League, where he played for the Philadelphia Athletics. Hit 426 that year. Solid contact there throughout his career, but we're focusing a little bit here on 1902. And this was when he had been traded from the Philadelphia A's to the Cleveland, they were called the Broncos at the time. Now, the only reason here was because there was a court case in the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania that regarded the reserve clause for a lot of players who jumped ship from the National League to the American League. The National League won that case. But it's like, I believe it was the Philadelphia team's owner obtained an injunction or something barring Lodgeway from playing baseball for any team other than the Philadelphia Phillies in the National League. However, a lawyer, this is what I'm reading on Wikipedia here. A lawyer discovered that the injunction was enforceable only in the state of Pennsylvania. It's crazy stuff right there. But the courts ruled that the reserve clause was not valid for players who signed with an American League team. Connie Mack, the owner, the manager of the Phillies, responded by trading Nap Lodgeway and Bill Bernhard to the Cleveland Broncos, and the rest is history. Nap Lodgeway became the face of the Cleveland franchise in the American League. Hit, 339 in 13 years in Cleveland, which is just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But also has 76 stealing, 76 speed, 80 stealing, and 76 base running as well. Hit 379 with Cleveland in 1902. So there you go. Nap Lodgeway from the 1902 Cleveland Broncos in Perfect Team 23. All right, I have a couple more diamonds to show off for you. Let's go to the borough of Queens for our next one. Let's go a little more modern here. And let's go to possibly the best third baseman in New York Mets history. Ladies and gentlemen, peak David Wright from the New York Mets. 79 BABIP, 88 power, 76 avoid K, 97 contact, 108 gap power, and 80 on the eye. Look at the V left splits on this guy right here. Oh, captain, my captain, indeed. Look at the splits against lefties here. 84 BABIP, 99 power, 84 avoid K, 109 contact, 114 gap power, and 85 on the eye. Whew. Solid. Maybe a V left bat, potentially, at third base. Pretty decent defender as well over at third base. 76 range, 79 error, 99 arm, and 60 on the turn double play. Pretty good on the speed, stealing, and base running too. 72 speed, 88 stealing, 80 on the base running. Very solid player right here. 296, 376, 491 in David Wright's career with the Mets between 2004 and 2018. 242 career homers, 970 RBI. He was a 7-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glover, 2-time Silver Slugger, finished 4 times in the top 10 for NL MVP. Unfortunately, he had some back issues at the tail end of his career, so kind of one of those, what if he played a little bit longer? What if he had some more elite seasons? Would he make the Hall of Fame? Kind of a tiny bit of those what if cases. But alas, he was a New York Met. And that's all we have to say. So there you go. David Wright from the New York Mets, a very solid player in the history of the New York Mets in Perfect Team 23. And you know what? Speaking of famous New York Mets players. Yeah, exactly, great Scott. David Wright could have played this year. That's true. So, speaking of New York Mets players that are significant in the history of baseball, how about we go back to the pitcher's mound? And we'll bring you this solid card right here. 99 overall, Dwight Gooden from the 1985 New York Mets. 111 stuff, 97 movement, and 76 control. Very solid against both lefties and righties. Only a 1-point difference in stuff. Only a 1-point movement in 1-point movement difference. This guy is solid. 82 fastball, 54 on the slider, 109 curveball rating right there, and a 77 changeup. Now, the control is worrisome. That is a little bit of a downside to this card. But Dwight Gooden can get you some strikeouts. Possibly won't give up too many homers. I mean, he does have fly ball pitcher. 94 to 96 velocity with 97 movement, so it's not that bad right there. But as y'all know, 1985, a legendary year. Legendary year for Dwight Gooden. 24-4 record, a 1.53 ERA with a 2.29 ERA plus, 8.7 Ks per 9, 2.2 walks per 9. There's definitely, there's definitely some debate whether or not 1985 was a better year for Dwight Gooden, whether 1984 was better. I mean, he had a better strikeout rate in 1984, but a higher ERA. But you know what? Dwight Gooden, for those first 2 years of his career, solid pitcher right there in Queens. Cy Young winner in 1985, finished 4th in NL MVP, was an all-star that year, led MLB in wins, ERA, strikeouts, and fielding independent pitching. Whoo. This guy's solid pitcher here. As a 99 overall, could make some bullpens potentially. Maybe. But there you go. 99 overall, Dwight Gooden from the 1985 New York Mets in Perfect Team 23. All right. We got a ton of perfect cards to show off for y'all tonight. Let's start off with our first perfect card of the evening. 100 overall, shortstop, Monty Ward from the New York Giants. 87 BABIP, 56 power, 97 avoid K, 99 contact, 73 gap power, 66 I. A little bit better against righties than he is against lefties. A very speedy guy as well. 106 speed, 106 stealing, 103 on the base running. And his defense, I mean, kind of solid. 88 range, 84 error, 79 infield arm, 102 on the turn double play. But look at this. Maybe not play him at shortstop, but he is an elite second baseman. At least defensively. With that 88 range, 84 error, 79 arm, and 102 on the turn double play. Can also play a tiny bit of outfield as well. 69 range, 59 error, and 56 on the outfield arm. But yeah, Monty Ward in his career, 275, 314, 341 on the slash line with 540 career stolen bases between 1886 and 1894, going back to the early days of baseball right there. Switched to fielding in 1885 after being a pitcher for many, many years. I believe it was his arm got a little bit injured there. And then he just proceeded to lead the league in stolen bases for a couple years, 87 and 92. Pretty good stuff right there. But you know what? This guy has pitching ratings as well. 69 stuff, 76 movement, and 81 control. Slider, forkball, changeup, splitter, and cutter combo. I mean, nothing to, wow yourself over. But he is kind of an emergency pitcher as well. Maybe someone you could use on a cap team a little bit as well. Solid splits against both lefties and righties right there. It's not bad. Not bad. 50 stamina and 58 on the hold runners as well. Can throw just only 89, 91. So, but there you go. Maybe a solid guy right there. Not bad. So there you go. Monty Ward from the New York Giants, 100 overall in Perfect Team 23. All right, let's go back behind the plate for our next card of the evening, and it is 100 overall catcher Victor Martinez from Cleveland. 67 BABIP, 92 power, 99 avoid K, 97 contact, 88 gap power, and 71 on the eye. Look at the V left splits right here. 67 BABIP, 108 power, 96 avoid K, 103 contact, 90 gap power, and 74 on the eye. Not terrible behind the plate. Could be maybe more of a DH card potentially. 81 catcher ability, 80 on the arm. Can also play a little bit of first base as well. But yeah, he was a good catcher when he had wheel. I do agree. 295, 360, 455 in his career between 2002 and 2018. I could argue that he had better years with the Detroit Tigers, but that's just me. 246 career homers, 1,178 RBI, 5-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger, finished second in MVP in 2014. 7 seasons of 20-plus homers. Didn't really throw out too much, 23% on the caught stealing, but don't have him run either. 11 speed, 12 stealing, 12 base running as well. So there you go. Victor Martinez from Cleveland is in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up, let's go back to the pitcher's mound. And we're going back a little bit east. Let's go to Boston. For this next one. And that will be our next pitcher, 100 overall, left-hander, Chris Sale. From the Boston Red Sox, 134 stuff, 87 movement, 89 control. Split a little bit more splitty against lefties. 142 stuff, 92 movement, 91 control. Lot of blue and teal on this card right here. 93 on the fastball, 99 on the slider, 105 changeup, 94 on the splitter, 79 stamina, and 100 on the hold. Runners as well. Better than Phil Koch? Better than Phil Koch. Can throw 97 to 99 as well. Holy cats. But yeah, 114 and 75 career record for Chris Sale between 2010 and 2022. With a 3.03 ERA, 11.1 Ks per nine, 2.1 walks per nine, holds the all-time record for strikeouts per nine and K to walk ratio right here. 7-time All-Star, 7 straight top 6 AL Cy Young finishes as well. This guy might make some rotations. This guy's definitely going to make a lot of pitching staffs. If you get this card, definitely going to be on the pitching staff, more than likely. Now, do we have a scissors rating on this? I don't think we do. It would be hilarious if we did. But I think this is a cut above a lot of Chris Sale cards in Perfect Team history. So there you go. Chris Sale from the Boston Red Sox in Perfect Team 23. Alrighty, next up, let's go back to the New York Giants for our next card. 100 overall, Mike Tiernan, right field peak card. 82 BABIP, 84 power, 83 avoid K, 101 contact, 102 gap power, and 94 on the eye. Bit of a splitty card. Lot better against right-handed pitchers right here. 83 BABIP, 85 power, 84 avoid K, 103 contact, 103 gap power, and 96 on the eye. Can play all 3 outfield positions, left field, center field, and right field. Probably a lot better in a corner outfield spot. 80 outfield range, 78 error, and 77 on the outfield arm. 1887 to 1899 for this guy right here. Mike Tiernan, a very good hitter in his, let me see if I can find his Wikipedia page here. Yeah, basically led the NL in home runs in 1890 and 1891. I believe he had like he had 13 homers and 16 homers back when homers, weren't really like, over the fence home runs. You know what I mean? But 311, 392, 463 career bang slash, 106 homers, 853 RBI. And he is also the New York Giants slash San Francisco Giants all-time leader in triples and stolen bases. Not bad right there. 89 speed, 97 stealing, and 93 on the base running as well. Can bunt a tiny bit too. So, but there you go. Very, very, maybe a decent-ish right fielder potentially. If you guys don't have some of those cards for right field. So, but there you go. Mike Tiernan from the New York Giants in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up, let's go back to the infield. And if you're looking for a guy who can get on base, this guy right up your alley. 100 overall, Max Bishop from the Philadelphia Athletics. 70 BABIP, 56 power, 92 avoid K, 82 contact, 99 gap power, and 118 I. 118 I. Ooh. I like the eye split here against lefties and righties here. 111 against lefties, 120 against righties. This guy This guy don't need no glasses. Plus, he doesn't strike out too often. I mean, 93 avoid K, 84 contact against righties, 70 BABIP, 58 power against righties as well. Solid. This guy could be a solid guy. Maybe put at the top of your batting order. Maybe bat him second a little bit. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. Yeah, he can see through the ball. Max Bishop, I do believe he is a lefty. Let me double check here. Yes, he is a lefty batter, righty thrower. Defensively, not bad either. No, 88 range, 86 error, 65 arm, 90 on the turn double play, so decent defender. Can also bunt pretty well. 116 on the sacrifice bunt, 90 on the bunt for hit as well. In Max Bishop's career, he hit 271, 423, 366. When you have a slash line that has on base percentage more than slugging percentage, you know you got yourself a guy that can get on base. 1,156 career walks to just 452 career strikeouts. 8 straight seasons of 100 plus walks, led MLB with 128 of them in 1929. And he also played 18 World Series games defensively without an error. That's some fun stuff right there. And this is an actually decently fun card right here. Max Bishop from the Philadelphia A's in Perfect Team 23. Hit by pitch leader for decades. Yeah, that too. That too. All right, back to the pitcher's mound we go for our next card. And we have 100 overall righty Dazzy Vance from the Brooklyn Dodgers / Brooklyn Bridegrooms. It was one of those team names. 122 stuff, 95 movement, 91 control. And look at the reverse splits on this guy right here. 124 stuff against lefties, 97 movement against lefties, 92 control against lefties. As a right-handed pitcher. Ooh. Fastball, curveball, changeup combo as well. Can do very well against righties as well. 120 on the stuff, 94 movement, 91 control. We got 1, 2, 3 more cards to show off tonight. But man, this is a fun card right here. 108 on the stamina, 51 on the hold runners, 91 to 93 miles per hour with fly ball tendency. Dazzy Vance, probably one of the better strikeout guys of like the 1910s to 1930s. 197 and 140 record, 3.24 ERA with a 6.2 strikeouts per 9, 2.5 walks per 9. I mean, 6.2 strikeouts per 9. That was a lot. That was very high strikeout rate back in that time period. He was the MVP in 1924. The MVP as a pitcher. Led the National League in strikeouts for 7 straight years from 1922 to 1928. Led the NL in strikeouts per 9 8 times in his career and had 28 wins in 1924. So this guy, proven winner, can strike out a lot of guys, can play against lefties very well. This guy's everything you can ask for in a pitcher. Dazzy Vance from the Brooklyn Dodgers / Bridegrooms in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up, we got 1, 2, 3 more cards for y'all tonight. 3 more cards for y'all tonight. And our next one up is Johnny Mize from the St. Louis Cardinals. 100 overall, 63 BABIP, 130 power, 95 avoid K, 107 contact, 110 on the gap power, 78 on the eye. A lot better against righties than he is against lefties with 64 BABIP, 134 power, 98 avoid K, 109 contact, 112 gap power, and 79 on the eye. Decent defender over at first base, 41 range, 73 error, 37 arm, and 40 on the turn. Double play, 23 speed, 76 stealing, and 50 base running as well. Oh, man. In Johnny Mize's career from 1936 to 1953, hit 312, 397, 562 with 359 career home runs, 1,337 RBI. He was a 10-time All-Star, top 10 MVP in 5 times, led the NL in home runs 4 times, and led MLB as a whole 3 times. And probably one of the first, if not one of a handful of people to have 42 strikeouts with 51 home runs, have 40 strikeouts with over 50 homers. Did that in 1947, which is just absolutely outstanding. This guy did not strike out too often. So there you go. Johnny Mize from the St. Louis Cardinals in Perfect Team 23. These are all packables. These are all packable cards right here. Alrighty. 2 more cards to go. Let's go back to the pitcher's mound. And we go to one back. We go. You know what? We had a lot of Mets pitchers tonight. You know what? What's one more Mets pitcher, huh? 100 overall lefty Jon Matlack from the New York Mets. 98 stuff, 107 movement, 93 control. Lot better against righties than he is against lefties. Another reverse split kind of guys right here. 99 stuff against righties, 108 movement against righties, 94 control against righties as well. Fastball, curveball, changeup combo, 97 on the stamina, 85 on the hold runners. Jon Matlack, solid pitcher. Went 125 and 126 in his career between 1971 and 1983. A 3.18 ERA, 5.8 strikeouts per 9, 2.4 walks per 9. He was Rookie of the Year in 1972, 3-time All-Star, 7 years of 10-plus wins, and led the NL in shutouts in 1974 and 1976. So a very good card from the New York Mets. Jon Matlack in Perfect Team 23. Yeah, can you imagine being under 500 with that ERA? That's the Mets. Anyway, we have one more card for you all this evening. And some astute people noticed that there was a few words in the in-game notification for this stream tonight that said there is one that can do it all. Ladies and gentlemen, here is that card. 100 overall, Babe Ruth from the New York Yankees. 84 BABIP, 172 power, 63 avoid K, 117 contact, 97 gap power, and 110 on the eye. He can mash against both lefties and righties. Look at the power against righties here. 175, 164 power against lefties. Over 110 contact against both lefties and righties. Over 90 gap power against lefties and righties. Decent defender out there in left and right. And you ask, does he have pitching stats? Does he have pitching stats, you say? He does! 68 stuff, 109 movement, 74 on the control with slider, curveball, and the splitter. A lot better against left-handed pitching than he is against righties. 112 movement against lefties, 108 movement against righties. He can't bunt worth a darn, but you know what? There you go. 50 stamina, 58 on the hold runners. Oh, man. This guy is freaking awesome right here. But man, look at this. Look at the hitting here. I mean, Babe Ruth, mainly known for his hitting. He was a pitcher for the early part of his career. Oh my goodness. Third all-time in career home runs, I do believe, if I'm mistaken. All-time leader in slugging percentage. All-time leader in OPS. Led the AL in home runs 12 times. Had 2,062 career walks. Was the 1923 MVP. Oh my goodness. What a card to end it off tonight. 100 overall Babe Ruth. And here's some other names that you're going to be finding in Platinum Series 3. Jim Edmonds, Brandon Webb, Cy Seymour, Enos Slaughter, Al Holland, David Justice, Miguel Tejada, Kerry Wood, Juan Guzman, Gary Maddox, Hubie Brooks, Kevin Millwood, Clay Buchholz, Bert Hooton, Ernie Witt, Rafael Furcal, a gold Hank Aaron player right here. Luis Castillo from the Florida Marlins, Davey Johnson from 1973 Atlanta, Sandy Consuegra from the Chicago White Sox. If I recall correctly, that's a big movement and control card right there. Marwin Gonzalez from the 2017 Houston Astros. You have Steve Pearce from the 2014 Baltimore Orioles, Steve Ontiveros, Juan Moncada from the Chicago White Sox, Miles Mikolas from the St. Louis Cardinals 2018, Steve Farr, Sandy Alomar Jr. Sandy Alomar Jr., that's a catcher you might want to look out for. I don't know if it's good defensively, but the hitting, I believe, really good on that one. Wally Post, Foster Edwards, Bobby Witt. That guy, a lot of movement, I'll just say that. Gary Matthews Jr. from the LA Angels, Roy Patterson, and Phil Plantier. So some fun names coming in tonight with Platinum Series 3. All right, so there you go. Those are your Platinum Series 3 cards that we will be showing off for the evening. I cannot wait to start ripping some packs to see see which ones I get, which are probably going to be none of them. But either way, great stuff right here. Oh man. Before we head out for the evening, let's congratulate last week's tournament top 10. DR Sox and the Balking Dead taking first place in the daily traditional tournaments last week with 233 points. Red Eclipse with 195 points in second place. Third place is Ace Rutherford and the North Forest Moose with 184. Draglefred, Admiral Relativity, Galoy, PJ Sleeves, Bluebird Silver, Metadurden, and Warhawk rounding out the top 10 as well. Weekly traditional tournament, C. Whitman and the Castroville Mashers in first place last week with 97 points. KC86 with the Mississauga Leaf Tours in second with 81. Hondo Lane and the USA 1776ers in third with 80 points. Cookie, MacJack, Snailman, C. Steinhardt, Tecmobo, Esther 31, and Clavette 3 rounding out the top 10. And in the perfect draft realm, Jake P316 and the Chad Golden Rumps finishing in first place in the daily perfect draft standings with 88 points. Bahoot and the California Halos in second with 83 points. The Huseman won and the not so perfect team TTC in third with 80 points. Jacket 151, Daryl UCLA, Legion Dan, Leo Remus, Cito 3, Dirty Cheetah, and Talking Baseball rounding out the top 10 there. And finally, in the weekly perfect draft tournaments last week, Nickel G and the Edinburgh Diamond Devils in first with 60 points. Gracie Frankfurt in second with 56. KC86 in third with 56. Tech 15, Sox Fan 66, Vet Pep 10, IML Owl, Traveler 79, Bredav 008, and MDub 2 rounding out the top 10. Unfortunately, we don't have the updated standings as of yet for this week. We need to go back to the lab a little bit on that, so Unfortunately, we don't have those for you tonight, but that is going to do it for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in to This Week in Perfect Team. Really appreciate y'all being here every single week. And cards are live! Cards are live, everybody. Have fun tonight. Have fun with the packs tonight. Oh, man. Alrighty. Real quick, a reminder. There will not be a Friday Showdown stream tomorrow night. I have some real life obligations to do, so that will not be happening tomorrow, unfortunately. But I'll see you again on Saturday evening for coverage of the finals of the 4th Perfect Team Championship Series. Have a great night, everybody. DishNet34, signing out. Have a great night, everybody.